Hype has begun on Modern Warfare 2, Halo is slowly getting its act together, and Battlefield is still awful! Season 13 of Apex Legends should be in a good shape by now to start completely dominating the Battle Royale genre, but it isn't. Making the same mistakes as its biggest rivals, Apex now finds itself in a position where it's listened to streamers and pros a bit too much and alienated its predominantly skilled but casual player base while taking all the fun out of the game. How did that happen? Hi, I am Hoff here on the Reign A1A YouTube channel, and today we're going to be talking about the elephant in the room. Has Apex peaked? As always, we're a bunch of YouTube degenerates, instead of asking for change, harassing you for subscriptions. So please hit the like button if you haven't done so already, and hit sub. If you dislike it, hit dislike twice. Right, let's discuss it. After an initial spike in popularity at launch in February 2020, Apex Legends did what most free-to-play games do, that are decent, and got straight forward to capitalizing and concentrating that interest for a game which was clearly there. Remember, the reception for this game was so good, it caused a knee-jerk reaction from Activision, who released Warzone probably a month or so before it was ready. From there, Warzone took off, seemingly cashing in on the hype Apex had generated. However, once Infinity Ward's time with the IP passed, the magic passed also. Raven Software couldn't maintain the levels of quality, balance and stability that Infinity Ward had set, and as such, people slowly started playing other games, Apex being a regular one. There was a lot of streamers and a lot of viewers, streamers and their viewers started going over to Apex around the time Caldera came out. Rightly so, by the way, that map was awful. Looks like it was visualized by Stevie Wonder. This takes us to Season 10, I believe it was in Apex at the time. With that came Seer, a legend who could easily detect and wall hack campers and counter overly aggressive teams, which was and still is Caldera's biggest problem. People being far too sweaty and people moving slower than snails. Seer was perfect for this, and even after his slight nerf, just knowing these renegades were nearby would often tip the balance in your favour, even if you didn't land that skill shot. This set the tone for people coming back after Season 1, that the game is no longer full of Watson fences and caustic traps, which is why people left Apex for the Season 0 Warzone in the first place, like Modern Warfare Season 0. Good, well-timed team movement mixed with engaging 1v1s made this game an icon. Everyone was loving it. It was amazing. Olympus, though not a perfect map, was still really strong, and fan favourites such as World Edge and Kings Canyon kept everyone engaged and happy. Also, rank was great. Yeah, pros didn't like it because deep down they were up against other streamers and pros, but it was a fair balance between playing for both kills and placement. I'm going to make the argument that this was the last great season in Apex, but probably not quite yet at its peak. Season 11, Ash was released, which was a massive plus. One of my aggressive mains when I fancy a break from the support role I play for my team. Ranked was tweaked a little bit, however. If you weren't in regular diamond lobbies, you hardly noticed it, and casual skilled lobbies were really fun still. Storm Point was a massive disappointment for me personally, and the map encourages third party or complete separation for 18 minutes. There's literally no in between, which, to be honest, quite frustrating when you can see what the developers were trying to do, just the execution was poor. They made a map for pros, which in ALGS is actually a really good map. However, in actual real games of Apex, it was particularly lacking. Little flow, over-reliance on Gibby and Valk, even in casual lobbies, and just a bit of a slap in the face considering we moved away from that twat of a jungle map in Caldera. We wanted to forget Caldera, instead we got haunted by that which we thought was behind us. This was not doom and gloom for Apex though. The community as a whole was positive. We all knew it was a blip and the community and developers accepted that. The game had so many strengths that you could just look past it, and you did that willingly. ALGS finals came about in Stockholm, Sweden, and the interest in the game was at an all-time high. Europe and North American fans were humbled by a deserving Australian team winning the event, who played in a way which really called out exactly what AU and NA pro scene was. Predictable and unambitious in terms of gameplay, choosing to play the game far too safe. You know, like ranked today. However, the hype and interest in the ALGS finals generated was incredible. More people than ever before were playing the game, and more importantly, enjoying it. Little did we know that Respawn looked at this and thought, ooh, this is really popular. Let's make literally fucking everybody play in this specific way. By the way, we're at Season 12 now. Season 13 happened. And, well, we all know what went down there. Pros and streamers initially loved it, slandering highly skilled players who couldn't make the time commitment to rank up, saying they were where they belonged and that they were not as good as they thought they were. Players who, by the way, could keep up easily with these pros and streamers in Masters and Pred lobbies. All of a sudden, Apex looked fragile. Innocent missings of the mark, like Stormpoint, became an agenda for those who believed that the game was in a quality decline. This mistake was not seen as innocent, it was seen as malicious by the community. Not only were you getting punished for not being a 6-hour-a-day player, but now you were indirectly being told how to play the game, instead of making your style work for you and your team, and playing to its strengths as much as possible. Strangely enough, players don't like having only one way to play the game ranked. The playstyle was simple: hit beacon, run for center zone, wait for 18 minutes, try and get a kill at the last 5 squads. Boom. Even pros said that's how you play Apex. My problem with that is that this strategy should be how you win Apex, not how you play Apex. Playing and winning can be two different things entirely, and the ranked update proved it. Hell, that's why Battle Royale is successful. You can lose and still have a ball of fun. But if you can't have a ball of fun and you're going to be losing literally 90% of the time, what is the point? To just break even in RP, you had to play the game as if you were playing in Warzone to get a top 5 finish. Camp, third party, play edge, and move as little as possible. Guess what, Respawn? Your audience moved to you to get away from that playstyle. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. Players then moved on to the casual game modes, but then again the problem returned, but in the opposite form. Round 1 would regularly end, and there would only be 2 teams left in the lobby. This literally happens all the time today. Like, casuals is now super sweaty and tryhard aggressive, whereas ranked is super camp and ALGS style. There is no balance, and where there is no balance, there must be Thanos. Rumour has it he's making Modern Warfare 2. Subscribe!